Benedict Spencer's with me. Benedict, have you tried to buy a train ticket at a railway office? Perhaps can't get the machine to work and had to go and talk to staff at the ticket office. And are you worried that actually we're going to look at virtually nearly every railway station ticket office across England being closed, according to an announcement yesterday?
I've got to be honest, it's been some years since I actually used a ticket office because the apps are quite good these days. But often in the past, when I've had to sort of deal with ticket stuff, I've never found it a particularly pleasant experience. It's been a very much...
Well, talking through the window is quite hard.
I'm not trying to, label all ticket office staff as the same, but there is a very kind of a computer says no attitude to everything. Say there's a problem with your app, or there's a problem with your train ticket, or you've bought the wrong one, or you've lost your rail card. It's a very passive-aggressive, that's not my problem kind of attitude. And a machine can do that for a lot less money. So, I feel there's something, because older people, for example, who maybe use the trains aren't going to be able to use an app to the same degree, maybe, but... I do think it's been heading this way for some time, and I do kind of feel like the staff don't necessarily help themselves.
I mean, if you do have staff on the platforms, I suppose that is more helpful. But again, you can't get to the platform a lot of the time because you haven't got a ticket. Ta-da! Well, let's talk about this with Simon Calder, travel correspondent at The Independent. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes, lovely to see you.
Where are you? Tell you always upset me with this. Where are you right now? Or are you somewhere boring in the country?
I'm in beautiful Annecy in southeastern France, just looking across at the mountains. Obviously, I was too cheap to get a room overlooking the lake, but it's a beautiful day, and I am looking forward to travelling around. I did actually check out yesterday when this news came out about the new rail ticketing plans, how things looked at the local station, and there was a queue coming out the door of actual people wanting to queue up and get a ticket from an actual person. That will not be possible in England, at least, if these plans go ahead. Within 3 years, there basically won't be any significant ticket offices left, except in a very few places.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is extraordinary that, exactly, this is just not going to be possible to actually do anymore. I mean, I hadn't realised there were so many ticket offices still available, but we're looking at within, as you say, in the next 3 years, it's about making railways more efficient, more cost-effective. You've got staff just sitting there. They're not available to do other things. But we've seen this certainly in London in tube stations. We've seen it in many other cities and their sort of tram systems and elsewhere, that now the norm is that people just buy your tickets online. I think now it's down to only 12% of tickets are bought at a ticket office. But the trouble is, the people who do need to do it, they do need to do it.
Well, and I have never seen, this is basically the biggest change in a generation on the railways, and I have never seen such fury. This is coming largely from the disability campaigners who say this is actually going to turn people away from the railways. They won't be able to use it. The government, the train operators whose big plan this is, say that's nonsense. We will actually be improving the service. The fact that you've got people who aren't stuck sitting at a chair behind a glass and they're actually out and about helping you is going to improve things. But talking, for example, to Transport for All, they say absolute nonsense. First of all, we don't trust the government that they're not just going to move people out the ticket office and then say, right, we've got to save money, you've all lost your jobs. And secondly, they say that you've got to have an actual ticket office, a place where people can go, where they know they will meet staff who will have time to help them. The unions are absolutely appalled. They call it wanting to get more redundancies by the back door. Well, everybody can object, and they will be in the next 3 weeks. You can talk to Transport Focus, you can talk to London Travel.
I think you can object as much as you want, and we know perfectly well we're going to have a load of strikes about this. Of course we are, but unfortunately this is the way of the world. We see this in supermarkets, people moving to the tills, which are unmanned. There are times when you need to go to a till that's manned, and there are times that you don't. I mean, but again, people want to have that backup, don't they? That's the thing. And also just having another human being to just ask advice. Oh, hold on a minute, I want to go from here to here, but I don't know which train it is. Often it really is incomprehensible. And a lot of railways stations are geared around people who know where they're going. They do this as a regular route. And if it's somewhere you don't know, and the train is, this is a train to X or Y, well, you can't get that train because it does stop, it's a slower train. If you haven't got a working app, maybe you haven't got a signal on your phone, or you've lost your battery. Where are you going to get that information if you haven't got a ticket office?
Well, luckily, say the train operators, that's all going to be fine, because 99% of the tickets that you can get at the moment from a ticket office, you'll be able to get from machines or online. And these helpful staff, the men and women who at the moment are doing an excellent job behind the glass, will come out and be able to help you with that. There is a huge problem, of course, which is that we have the maddest ticket system in the world.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, you're going from Bristol to London. You'd be mad not to take a train which stops at Didcot Parkway and buy one ticket to Didcot Parkway in beautiful Oxfordshire and another one from there, because you're going to save about 40% on the ticket.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, sort out the ridiculous complications and anomalies in the fare system, and then get rid of the ticket office staff if you have to. But to continue to have such a mad fare system, which only a kind of nuclear physicist or a booking office clerk with years of experience can unpick, you shouldn't be doing it.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more. But just do it by the mile, for goodness sake. That would be simpler, wouldn't it? Can we also talk about, given that you are in sunny France, which I'm going to be going on Saturday, yay, Simon, I mean, he's the only person who takes more holidays than me and Gloria Hunniford. And but Simon, lots of talk about how there are going to be lots of delays and lots of problems with flights over the summer. I mean, of course they're going to be. Well, you know, one year it's COVID rules, one year it's we haven't got staff, the next it's security staff, then it's the, you know, passport checks in Europe. You name it, there's always going to be a problem. It puts a lot of people off travelling, but a lot of people are going, I don't care anymore, I'm going to be travelling. That there's this idea that in the last few days that the air traffic control is not going to be able to cope with the number of flights. Is that purely a staffing issue, or is there a computer glitch? What's going on, and how badly might it affect us?
Well, yes, it's a really, really tricky one, and an awful lot of people. I've just been contacted by people who were stuck in Edinburgh, in Gatwick last night, trying to get to Edinburgh. It's a 21st birthday. The poor 21st birthday person is going to spend their morning at Gatwick Airport. How lovely!
Yeah.
That was cancelled because of air traffic control problems. EasyJet, which is most definitely experiencing more problems than anyone else, tells me that it is getting restrictions right across Europe due to short staff, due to the number of flights coming back, and therefore delays build up, and they get to the point where the staff go out of hours, and that's there's nothing they can do about it. Some passengers say, well, actually, if you look at how the other airlines are doing, they seem to be doing all right without cancelling lots of flights, and they point at Ryanair in particular. But talking to pilots, yes, things are tougher this summer than they have been. And bluntly, the war in Ukraine and the closure, therefore, of lots of airspace to the east has not helped. And wherever you're going, if you're only delayed by about an hour, but you actually get there, well, good luck. And of course, the good old French air traffic controllers haven't been very lively for a week or two. So
it's only a matter of time. They're always going to be on strike. Or that's what happened to me 2 weeks ago, arriving in Italy. My bag came on. Well, my bag wasn't put on the plane, as were lots of other bags, and then got delivered a few hours later. And then they decided to just keep it at the airport for the next 2 days. So that was very helpful of them. But I think we're all going to get used to a lot more of this. I think just being grateful you've got anywhere at all. But here's top tip, ladies: take your bikini with you and your carry-on luggage. I know Simon Calder always takes his swimwear with him wherever he goes. Simon, always good to talk to you. Enjoy your trip.